let's stay here. This is the 5th safety measure for general readings, and it is called avoid chasing readings, obsessing over answers, and becoming addicted. We have been speaking so far about self-deception mechanisms, and now we are getting to a very sensitive issue. Addiction and obsession are usually a very intimate expression of inner pain. Right now, we have science telling us that addiction behavior seems to have its roots in trauma, event-based trauma, or childhood trauma. Obsessions may be related to addiction, but they may also come from greed or be a silent inner expression of certain beliefs or desires. I will start this video by exploring addictions and then continue with obsessions. This measure is also called appropriate boundaries because setting healthy boundaries is very important in healing addictions or obsessions. This practice may be very challenging and difficult, and so many may be in need of proper help in order to cultivate restraint. When we are promoting addictive behaviors, we seem to think we do not need any help, although that is the time we are most in need of it. Being aware we need help and opening up to the one that is most appropriate is important for our well-being and is the first healthy boundary to set in this case. If you are new here, then I would like to mention that in this series of videos, I am raising awareness about the safety measures to consider when watching pick-a-card readings and collective readings online. In each video, I will be exploring one safety measure, helping you understand how to use these types of readings safely and to your benefit. My intention is for you to develop better discernment in order to stay away from detrimental use and to support your beneficial use. This is why I will be presenting a balanced view, helping you develop a sense of safety, increased awareness, and empowerment. In the last video, I talked about shadow chasing behavior, and now I will go into the tendency to chase readings or answers in order to satisfy an addiction or an inner obsession. The appropriate curiosity we've cultivated the last time needs to be contained with healthy boundaries. Shadow chasing and addiction are linked since chasing inner shadows may express in an external addictive behavior. When we are shadow chasing, we become addicted to an inner illusion, and when we are looking for answers in an obsessive way, then we are projecting the search onto an external source. Getting obsessed with an answer and then chasing certain types of readings over and over again with the hope of receiving it or hearing it said is an addictive behavior. This may go on for years and years, keeping the person in a harmful circular pattern. Even people who have worked upon themselves a lot can get into this conundrum, since this is such a powerful energy that can take control over our consciousness. I would like you to remember that you are not stupid or weak if this is happening to you, but you may be hurt, in pain, confused, lost, and in need of a different type of help. I would like you to be aware that many people are going through this type of behavior and that there is no shame to recognize it. Some examples of chasing readings are the following. Someone who has been hurt and going through a breakup, seeking to know what the ex is thinking about. Someone desiring to find a soulmate and looking for readings to confirm their arrival or their name and appearance. Feeling that you do not belong and looking for readings to tell you that you belong to a group of special people. feeling lost on your way forward, and seeking a message to tell you you're on the right path. Looking every month, week, or every single day to see what your ex is thinking about will solve nothing in your actual life, especially because these are general readings and you will get pulled to whatever you desire to hear. In this case, if the person desires to hear that they have been loved by their ex or that their ex has feelings, then they will attract these types of readings or messages to them. As I have explained before, if we look for readings with a hidden desire to have emotional comfort, then we will attract messages to validate our state or our wishes. This can keep vulnerable people into a blind faith loop for years. You may know the saying, hope is our dope. False hope can get your mind into a haze, thinking that things are just going to happen for you without you taking any action, or it will make you believe that anything is possible in your case. Either way, false hope keeps you paralyzed in a fantasy that consumes your energy and slowly destroys your mental and emotional health. Emotionally and mentally vulnerable people run a high risk of falling into these types of behaviors more than others. Some types of readings can also be very addictive because they are playing into human vulnerabilities like the desire for love and care, the desire for money and stability, the desire for hope or miracles. Our desire for love and care is not to blame here. It is not shameful or in need of change. The questions and the desire to know are not an issue here as well. They are normal and useful. What needs a transformation is our method of dealing with all of this. The addictive loop drowns us with false hope and promises a lot of temporary pleasure. Every time you will hear a reading playing into your addiction, you will get a dose of much needed hope, stability, confidence and courage, love and care, or whatever you are looking for to fulfill. This programs our subconscious for a later dose. Harmful self-suggestion can reach very high heights of deception, falling into the idea that we are getting the right answer every time, and we just have to either wait or do some kind of useless behavior that gets us nowhere. Harmful self-suggestion can happen also when we try to interpret tarot cards and unknowingly project our shadows, hopes, and wishes onto them. This can also get us addicted to our own shadows, chasing them because of the pleasure high of thinking we see something useful. Repeated behavior, similar to the ones mentioned, can lead to a strong obsessive state. This may get you feel like substance abuse, since what we usually seek is pleasure, comfort, or escape from reality. Even readers or aspiring practitioners can fall into this chasing type of behavior, harmful self-suggestion or false hope, because it can be so addictive to be at an arm's length to a supposed answer. This increases tenfold if we are not in a healed and balanced psycho-emotional state. We fall into obsession when we get stuck in certain harmful belief patterns, even though we have a lot of evidence that it is useless and many times irrational. The obsession may hide things about ourselves or life which we have a hard time confronting, or a lot of unprocessed pain. Examples of obsessions are thinking we are reliable enough to help ourselves without actually knowing our current emotional and mental state, and without taking the necessary actions to heal first, thinking that if we hear something, it will make it true, thinking that temporary pleasures may change into a long-term fulfillment, feeling we got supported and loved through the readings even if we did not, feeling that things are working out although we are stuck, thinking that easy answers are true most of the time, thinking that if we want it, then we must have it, avoiding real confrontation with our own feelings and thoughts because we choose to believe we've got the answers already, thinking we get truthful answers without any proper self-work, effort, or proper knowledge and talent, feeling that we have all the resources we need to solve this, but fate is in our way. When we have deep traumatic roots in our psyche, our protection mechanisms may get us into an addictive behavior as a way to avoid dealing with the pain. But even if we do not have trauma, we may still like the feeling of addiction and the pleasure it brings. Obsessive behaviors may also stem from greed and the desire to own answers and have access to easy release, easy power, or advantages to overpower others. The possibility of gaining fast knowledge or answers can be a temptation which can entice greed. Greed can be insidious and hide beneath apparent ethical or beneficial thinking or reasoning. It can twist and turn an intention to fit our apparently innocent needs and desires. This is why we may think our greed is an innocent desire for easiness or flow, for example. Greed stems from the idea that we lack something that we really must have in order to be whole. Sometimes this may be true, but many times we are just chasing things that are useless, not in tune with who we are, and which will not bring the integrity that we seek. If you know the Bible, then the fall of man origin story is a very good analogy. Eve is tempted to eat the apple from the tree of knowledge. If she eats it out of greed and lack of wisdom, then she will ruin herself and others. This happens because she will use the knowledge without talent, preparation, awareness of consequences, or wisdom. But what if Eve does not see this restriction as something evil or tyrannical? What if Eve does not listen to the snake offering easy access? What if she trusts God or the divine? What if she waits and properly prepares herself to understand why she's not allowed and how she could gain access? If she is honorable and treats the knowledge with respect, if she accepts the challenge and effort it takes to attune her vibration in order to naturally gain access, then she has great chances to use the knowledge in a beneficial way for her and others. If you are expressing behavior out of greed and temptation, if you are obsessing over getting answers, if you feel you are becoming addicted, consider taking a step back, pausing and working on your current state. Usually, in terms of knowledge, nothing worth having is very easy to get or integrate and accept. Consider learning more about yourself, asking for appropriate help, and setting healthy boundaries. If you have the tendency to fall into addictive or obsessive behaviors, I advise you to seek counsel so you can heal instead of chasing readings online or offline. Be open to recover your mental and emotional health because it is in your power to do this. You have the power to heal and access better experiences, even if it might not be that clear right now. all of the energy and power it takes to maintain an addiction or an obsession can be used to break free and find real healing. You do not need power or energy from another source, but you may need appropriate help and support on your journey. Setting proper boundaries means to have the courage to understand your own limitations, and that in this case, freedom comes by setting boundaries and learning to have restraint so we can stop our addictive behaviors before they become problematic and start to control our life. Opening for help is the first healthy boundary to set in this case. Help may come from many sources like divine help, divine intervention, proper personal work and study, books and courses, past and present experiences, online knowledge, and other people. A personal reading from a skilled reader can also help in these cases, especially readers that are trauma informed and informed about self-deception mechanisms, readers focused on providing clarity for healing. Next, I will be speaking about how to better choose your collective readings. See you there! Now you are free to click the thumbs up button and subscribe. Contemplate and share this with your friends. Click the bell to get notified quickly, and if you would like clarity on your path through a personal reading, then you can find the link to my online shop in the description box. I am grateful for all souls sustaining my channel by donations, and if you wish to take part, then you will find the link in the description box as well. Until next time, love and wisdom.